Carpenter, and I'm an associate professor in the Faculty of Education here at this university, right in that blue building. I'm also a member of Faculty for Palestine Canada and an organizer with our local Faculty for Palestine Alberta chapter. You can find us on Instagram. We're going to start with an agreement, as all good learning spaces do. This is a non-violent demonstration. We're going to channel our anger into the volume of our voices and our pots and pans, but that's it. We're not going to respond to taunts, incitements, or disruptions. Are we all agreed? Before we get started, let's remember why we're here. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not run!
Disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not rest!
Disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not rest!
Disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not rest!
We gather today on the lands of Treaty 6, thank them for the very sharp and incisive analysis they are disseminating in the wake of what's been done to them. They are leading not just morally, politically, but intellectually. I also want to thank the members of Faculty for Palestine Alberta who have been working non-stop all weekend to help us to put language to what has happened and to facilitate public spaces to express that outrage. If you haven't signed our letter, please find it, sign it. I'm just going to make a few comments about our demands, and then we're going to have some folks come up and talk. So we're here today because President Bill Flanagan invited the Edmonton police, full riot gear, onto this campus on Saturday morning to brutally clear a non-violent, peaceful student demonstration from University of Alberta and MacEwan students. On Saturday afternoon, thousands marched from the legislature to the quad to say that we will not tolerate this. As of 11 a.m. today, in less than 48 hours, more than 1,000 people have signed that open letter condemning Bill Flanagan's brutality and the university legal occupation and genocide against Palestinians. Defend the right of protest by all participants in solidarity encampments on university campuses. Declare their condemnation of the ongoing genocide and scholasticide in Gaza and urge the Canadian government to end military contracts with Israel. More than 200 faculty, the majority of them based here in Edmonton, have signed this letter, and our colleagues from across Canada and the rest of the world have joined us in solidarity. Letters such as ours are proliferating and addressed to every university that has overreached in their response to these student encampments. University faculty are making clear that we will not tolerate this kind of response to free expression on our campuses. In our letter, we echo the students' demands that Bill Flanagan resign. Cannot be excused, defended, justified, or forgotten. He has resorted to gross misrepresentation of the events of Saturday, his arguments clearly contradicted by video evidence. He said the police cleared the camp peacefully. They most certainly did not. He said the camp was full of outside people. Who are these outside people? No one is outside the university when you're asking them for money. indigenization policy and understands no demonstration of no knowledge about treaty relations and consideration. Woo! He makes appeals to rules, regulations, and procedures, but ignores university policy when it suits him. He said the camp was an imminent risk. What kind of university is threatened by multi-faith, multi-nation solidarity and learning? We see what he's doing. He's weaponizing safety policies and discourses and actually putting people in danger. Everything that happened on Saturday morning you've seen online, but things have been happening behind the scenes that are harder to see. His actions this week follow on months of anti-Palestinian racism on this campus. He has dehumanized Palestinian students and faculty and denigrated their grief. He has threatened, gaslighted, and terrorized the staff of this university into silence. He has denied sexual assault victims necessary medical and psychological services. He has done all of this for whom? This is why we demand the university disclose. We say it again, disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not rest.
Disclose, divest, we will not stop, we will not rest. We will not stop, we will not rest.
You all are very good chanters. We're going to try another one. Are you ready? Repeat after me. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Flanagan has got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Flanagan has got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Flanagan has got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Flanagan has got to go!
As we demand that Flanagan resign, we recognize the university leadership colluded in this decision and in the months leading up to it. Each of these leaders has refused to address anti-Palestinian racism on campus and has contributed to climate a delegitimizing student organizing and free expression on multiple grounds. First, in solidarity with Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!
Second, in opposition to the closing of the Sexual Assault Center and the wrongful termination of Sam Pearson and 3 staff members. Third, in defense of those seeking care and support from the university as they watch a genocide perpetrated on their community and loved ones. Shame. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up, but each of these leaders is not fit to serve in their position. Dean of Students Ravina Sangera and Associate Tim President Tim Tang for egregious failure to protect students. Especially disturbing given their purported expertise in student mental health and well-being. We say shame. Threat Assessment Program and Investigations Manager Frank Page. Campus Protective Services Director Mike Bartkus. Can you hear me in the basement of the education parking lot? And Vice President Todd Gilchrist for facilitating EPS's assault on this campus, for misrepresenting policies and terrorizing students. We say shame. And at the top of this heap is Bill Flanagan. So we reiterate our second demand. Flanagan should resign and take his toxic administration with him. Flanagan has got to go. We have a third and much easier demand to fulfill. Give the students their stuff back. Give them their books and their religious texts and their art supplies and their sleeping bags and their tech and their snacks and every other thing you took from them, because you cannot give them back all the things you've stolen. We have several speakers here, and our goal is to end with enough time for those of us who are able to get on the LRT, to go to City Hall, and to join the other students and community in the protest at the Edmonton Police Service. But we're going to start with David Kane. David is professor in the Department of Political Science and a member of the Edmonton chapter of Independent Jewish Voices. David.
Okay, so we heard about a scary, scary encampment that was on this campus. You know what they had? Wooden pallets. They also found, after they cleared the camp, not as a reason to clear the camp, a hammer, a screwdriver. If the campus cops are here, get your cuffs ready, because I'm going to say, that was my hammer. That was my screwdriver. There was a whole toolkit, because when you go camping, you need some gear. So anyhow, we are hearing these bullshit explanations of why the encampment was clear. But let's step back a bit. That comes from this constricted, cramped, frightened, authoritarian culture that only wants to manage risk and that needs to keep us scared. And so when we push back at it, of course we say, this encampment was 100% safe. I was there through the encampment, never an aggressive word, never any hint of an act of violence. Outside infiltrators. I thought that University of Alberta actually wanted to connect with the broader community, actually wanted to connect with alumni, and now suddenly they're scary outsiders. So we come back and say, this encampment was no threat, it was perfectly safe, and so the use of dangerous police force was completely illegitimate and obscene. Can I just say, I was there, I got pushed back by that line of about 40 riot cops, swinging batons, using non-lethal weapons, not just holding them, but using them, and that was scary. Many people who went through that are still in the trauma of it, but we were lucky. Because when you bring those kinds of cops, they didn't just have non-lethal weapons, they had guns on their hips. And we know, we've seen over and over and over again, all it takes is one careless gesture, or one loud noise, or whatever else, and suddenly it's not just people bruised as people are, bleeding as people are, and traumatized as people are, it's students who are dead. And so how dare this university and President Flanagan pretend that they chose the safer option? No. But I want to go further than that, because if we're just arguing about degree of risk, we're still stuck in that cramped, frightened, risk-managing security culture, which is poison at this university. What I want to say about the encampment, about the People's University for Palestine, is that it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Who here was at the encampment even for 5 minutes? A lot of people here weren't at the encampment. If you would be willing to talk to just another person for a few minutes after the rally about what you felt and saw when you were there, put your hand up and hold it up. Hold it up. And if you weren't there, look around, see if there's a friendly enough face near you, and take a few minutes at the end to actually say, what did you see? What did you feel? What was it like? And what you will hear, I guarantee you, is that it was beautiful, it was peaceful, and just the story after story after story. You know what people say? Especially racialized people and indigenous people are saying things like, this is the first place I have felt safe on the University of Alberta campus. This is the first place this place has actually felt like a community to me. It was beautiful. I'm a political science professor, and I think we live in rough times, and there are rougher times ahead. I write about climate change, and so I think, what capacities do I want my students to have? What values do I want to support my students in so that they will actually be equipped for the world they're in? And I will tell you, I've been here for 27 years. I'm going to pull out a credential. I am one of the most awarded teachers at the University of Alberta. material. I care about teaching. I go to conferences about teaching. I mentor teachers. I have my own teaching. In 27 years at the University of Alberta, and I don't say this as hyperbole, I've really thought about it, I have never seen a learning environment as rich, as vibrant, as helpful as I saw in the encampment. That's what they take on campus with riots. Shame! So the way I see it, the way I feel it in my heart, is the worst of our university. Corporatization, hierarchy, PR flags, consultants, security culture, risk management, hostility to students. The worst of the University of Alberta pushed the best of the University of Alberta off campus on Saturday morning. Okay, so it is for the student leaders to say what needs to happen next, but I'm just going to give you my take as someone who listens carefully to them. There's some stuff that needs to happen not next week, not tomorrow, but today. Things that the University of Alberta could do today. First off, this is a student demand, amnesty. Not out of the goodness of their heart, but because they brutalized and harmed students for no reason on Saturday, and now those students have to sit at home and wonder if they're going to face disciplinary procedures. Ditto faculty, by the way. And we are seeing insultingly cagey communication from PR professionals who think we're stupid. So the other thing I'll say about the threats they need to lift, I was being driven off of campus with the rest of the encampment. The famous Frank Paget of Campus Protective Services took a mic from a police officer, held it to her mouth and said, everyone in this group, and she knew I was there, she knows I'm faculty, she knew students were there, everyone in this group is banned from campus for 1 year. And now we get the cagey communication. They say there is misinformation. Gee, wonder where that came from. We can confirm that no members of the University of Alberta community are banned from campus. Well, we're smart. We're learning critical skills. How about the members of our Edmonton community? They have not said they're not banned from campus. They said no students have been suspended. This was 12 hours later. Suspension doesn't happen overnight, and it's only one of the disciplinary penalties. So demand one today. Amnesty, no penalties. Amnesty, 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 amnesty. Demand number 2, and these aren't the big demands. These are the things they could do today if they had any recognition of the horrible thing they did on Saturday morning, if they had any notion of accountability. Demand number 2, give our damn stuff back. Give it back! I like that hammer. That screwdriver belonged to my dad. Give our damn stuff back. And don't give it back like cops, where we have to go and show our ID and they can take our picture and they can say what stuff we had. Give all the stuff back to the organizers wherever they want it, and they'll take care of the rest. Who protects us? We protect us. Who protects us? We protect us. Who protects us? We protect us. The third thing, this is me, but I think that the student organizers would be friendly to it. So, amnesty, give our damn stuff back today, and no more slander. No more lies. If I see one more corporate communication from President Flanagan claiming that there was looming violence, that there were scary outsiders, aka alumni and members of the community, that there were wooden pallets, that there were screwdrivers and hammers that could have been used as weapons, I'm going to lose it. We've seen that discourse before. Every time an encampment or an indigenous encampment is cleared in Edmonton, that's what EPS comes out and say. We found a box cutter. Well, people need to live, for God's sake. I've got like 4 box cutters at home. Come and get me. If I didn't have a home, they'd be in my pocket, because what are you supposed to do? So anyhow, no more of that cop bullshit from the president of this university. End it today. Okay, I'm going to say this. Can I have 1 more minute? Okay, that's today. Tomorrow or in the next week or so, there needs to be way, way more. Number 1, send out the highest officials of this university to meet with the student organizers about their actual demands. They weren't there because they wanted a camping trip. They were there because there's a genocide in Palestine and this university is funding it. Meet with the student organizers, and the student organizers will take no bullshit. They don't want to have meeting after meeting after meeting so there can be a decision late in the year that will maybe... No. They want action. They're not going to settle for less. And if you were here for the demonstration on Saturday, they kicked them off in the morning. You should have seen the crowd that came back in the afternoon. They don't know what they're tangling with. The Palestinian community, the Muslim community, all of us in solidarity, the Jewish community, faculty, staff, students, they are flushing the reputation of this university down the drain, and it needs to change now. So meet with the students soon. And the other one is, let's have some house cleaning at this university. If they understood what a real university is, they would understand that the encampment represented the beating heart of this university. Let's actually learn from it, not reject it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. You know, many years ago, I met with an administrator of this university who told me that there are certain groups of people in Edmonton they won't speak with because they're not interested in the reputational risk. They were talking about us. Let's show them some reputational risk. And also, to echo the students, another university is possible. Speaker is Mike Litwack, who is an associate professor in the Department of English and Film Studies, and a member of the Edmonton chapter of Independent Jewish Voices. We started with David and Mike because they were present in the camp during the raid. Mike.
David is a very challenging act to follow. I want to apologize. I don't have a voice right now because my boss decided to stick militarized riot police on my students at 4 a.m. on Saturday and shot tear gas at us. So I can't really talk right now. And I tried. So I apologize for that if I'm less than coherent right now. I should also probably say that at dawn on Saturday, while militarized police sent by Mr. Bill Flanagan to all that was taking place, I was informed, as my friend, my comrade, my Jewish brother David just said, I was informed by the Vice President of Facilities and Operations, Frank Page, that I, or Page I suppose, along with all of my students, my community, my colleagues, I'm not allowed on this campus for a year. So I just should probably say, Frank, are you here? Frank, should I leave right now? Do you guys want me to leave?
No!
You can stay.
He was scared.
Shit, yeah, but yeah, absolutely. Second of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for being in community with us today, and in particular, our fucking brilliant and fucking courageous students. And most especially, I want to thank our Palestinian students. Who refused the genocide of their people. Who refused to normalize the total violence of the Zionist state. I'm gonna look at them, but I'm probably gonna cry if I look at them, I shouldn't. You teach me